Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the professor that made it all happen, Patrick Huber. Welcome to
Tyler.
the show.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going good. It's great to have you here. And just want you to introduce yourself to the audience.
All right. Well, I'm just, Patrick Huber, kind of an adjunct professor here at the community college. And, I'm here to teach students how to be in the media business.
All right. And you are the man making sure that all this happens. What got you working here? How long you been working here?
I've been working here probably for 2 years now. This is my fourth semester. Basically, I'm a Com 103 teacher, which means I teach the art and craft of editing. So, everything AVID is basically what I'm trying to convey to the students, to love it, live it, use it.
All right. And it's like, what, as an editing professor, do you feel that, like, you're really having an impact on the kids?
I think my number one job is to get people interested in using the program. AVID is one of those things that was created probably, in the early 80s, and it was meant to solve kind of, different types of problems, right, that were happening around that time for film editors who were transitioning into digital. And so some people, nowadays, younger students kind of look at it and it seems outdated, but it really isn't. It's one of those programs that kind of got it right the first time, in my opinion. It takes a little longer to learn. It is a steep learning curve, so my job is to basically get students to be interested in the program, to really kind of try to dig deep on their own and just kind of learn how to use it. Because AVID is basically, an industry standard. Major companies, still use it, and it's one of those things where if you learn AVID, you can basically learn anything else.
And what got you into the media business?
Well, the media business, it was kind of when I was in high school. I went to kind of one of those special assemblies where they showed us a video and they showed us kind of what we could do at the local technical school. And one of the things that was on there was the communications program, showing students working with cameras and being in front of the camera, behind the camera, dealing with technical stuff. And from that moment, I just kind of explored the option of going to this 2-year program and getting into the media business and seeing what I could do. And it kind of just clicked from there. So,
All that from a school assembly. My school had yo-yo tricks. So what have you done that you're most proud of since you started working at Dutchess?
I think being an adjunct, it's kind of a journey, especially when you first start with a new program. So you kind of identify who the student body is. You have to kind of work with the goals that are set forth, to you from the administrators and from your bosses, and it's really kind of discovering how you can, teach students in the most efficient way to really kind of get all the requirements out of the way. I think it's I've done a great job of kind of getting students excited about kind of doing more work. And I think that's kind of the biggest goal is students have to edit and re-edit and edit a third time and, really kind of pick up a camera and go out there and shoot stuff. And the whole point of being here is to encourage them to kind of maybe put down Transformers and some of these other things that they're watching. Maybe video games can, take a pause and really just kind of go out there and create media. Figure out ways to do it where they're excited with the end product.
And do you feel like you're seeing that drive here?
I definitely feel that I see the drive in a lot of students. I see other students that just I feel need to be encouraged more. And it's one of those things where some students that see other students kind of achieving things, they'll kind of jump on board and follow suit. So I think it's a matter of kind of helping to grow the communications program, the community, and just kind of have the students encourage themselves to do work.
You hear that, students? Stay late and do your work. Now, what was it that made you want to be a professor?
Being a professor kind of was something that I never thought about before I was talking with Dana, the head of the program. she was looking for an editing teacher and started talking to me about the possibility of me coming in and teaching it, because she knew I had work experience, more than 5 years using AVID, at ABC, broadcast news editing. So she kind of, said, hey, why don't you take those skills and try to help students kind of get into the program. And, I thought it was a challenge, something I never really thought about. And maybe it was a little bit of an egotistical thing, but I thought, you know what, I could actually do that challenge, and I think I can do it well. And so I'm going to, either sink or swim, and I'm just going to do it. And I'm either going to fail and, move on and kind of, see if I had the skill or the knack for it, or I was going to succeed and really have to consider it. Is this kind of a career path that I can further explore?
And tell us more about your job at ABC. What do you do there?
So at ABC News, I basically just kind of take content that's already created. So Good Morning America, their morning program, or This Week with George Stephanopoulos, their politics show on Sundays. I basically watch those programs and clip off individual videos. It's the video on demand team, so we're creating that kind of clip content that you watch on your mobile phone or on Hulu or whatever. So it's my job to kind of write headlines and captions to entice the viewers in. It's also kind of my job to prepare the content and make sure that it has a good starting point, good end point, that it can hold people's attention, etc. So it's posting a lot of video. It's kind of like, imagine your YouTube channel, but imagine doing that for hundreds of videos a day in kind of an assembly line type fashion.
A lot of work there. So how'd you get into this job? Did you have like connections in the city that helped you out? How did all that work?
So yeah, with ABC News, a couple of my friends who actually attended Dutchess Community College with me, they kind of had other friends that kind of were in the company. And it's kind of like a little bit of, networking. Whenever the department that I work for needed someone to come in, there was kind of a call for resumes. And, they would just spread the word to their group of friends, and everyone would submit their resumes. And then based on, obviously your experience and skills and stuff like that, they would call you in and you do the whole interview process. For me in particular, I was working on this documentary as an assistant editor with one of my friends who basically worked at ABC News. And this documentary was about the Alaskan rodeo. And it was about a 16-year-old girl whose dream it was to win this championship in this rodeo. And during the course of this whole kind of season that she was competing in, the people that were running the organization were driving horses from the lower 48 states to Alaska. And for whatever reason, all the horses that were on this trip died. They weren't properly taken care of, or whatever the case may be. And what we're going to do to edit that documentary is we were going to basically kind of show how this tragic incident with the horses created a scandal and kind of split the rodeo organization, and kind of led to the odds being stacked against this young girl in terms of her dream of winning the championship. And so it was a very interesting documentary, and I was just kind of doing the assistant editing work. And, my friend basically, that call for resumes that ABC does, was like, hey, they're doing it again. And I submitted my resume, and eventually I just got called one day like, hey, we need someone tomorrow. If you're free, you got a job. There was no interview process for me. It was just kind of happenstance. They had someone like either walk out, or they just needed an extra body. And so they gave me a trial run, kind of that baptism by fire. And, I've been there kind of ever since.
All right. And so more about your independent stuff. You put out a video called Tuna. We're going to cut to a clip of that right now.
2 cents on the crumb.
I'll take 6. Seriously? That's all I got. Hey, can I borrow 7 crumbs?
Where are you going with this?
I'm going to sell the 7 crumbs to Hunter for 12 cents.
You're trying to short guacamole.
Hey, you can't short guacamole. I mean, this is ridiculous. The same rules do not apply in this situation. Damn right, we're starving!
Nobody move!
Guys, look at what we've reduced to here. Okay? Now, Fletch, what's next? What, you gonna steal candy from babies?
Maybe a properly invested lollipop would help the parents pay for the child's college education.
What are you talking about? Your kid just can't take random shit off the street and turn it into some kind of security.
Are you saying the sandwich has no value?
That's not what I'm saying.
Tell your stomach that. Go ahead, but my stomach's not hearing it. Gentlemen, do you not see how important we are to the world? We are its wellspring of abundance. And if our bellies aren't full, the whole world will starve. Even split?
Mike, let me yeah. Come on. It's your shit.
If you want to see more of that clip, we have a link for you down below. Now, Patrick, what was your message behind what you're trying to portray there?
I think with Eco Tuna, my friends and I, we basically kind of co-wrote it in a group, and we also kind of co-produced it and co-directed it, and it was really a big collaboration amongst all my friends who had just graduated college, and this is our first film that we were going to do outside of kind of being a student. And the whole time period was when the economy kind of collapsed, and we were in that kind of recessionary period, and we just got this idea of having 4 financiers who are out on their luck. They're in an alleyway, but they can't really give up the old habits of swindling people out of their hard-earned money. And so we set up a scenario where they're around the burn barrel, and they're kind of like thinking about how they can kind of take advantage of the situation. And they see this homeless guy with a molded up tuna fish sandwich, and they just go to work instantly, not missing a step from their old lives. And then, comedy pursues. It's meant to be a farce, meant to be funny, and I hope people enjoy it.
And the big question, what's coming next for Patrick Huber?
For me, I think I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I'm going to be continuing to teach, trying to get students very interested in the media business and teach them as much as I can, and get them to create their own work. And then right now I'm kind of at ABC News. Things are pretty steady. I'm probably going to continue to do that as well. And then, it's hopefully I get back into some screenwriting. That's what I went to school for. And I hope to, have some projects ready to go in the future and be produced.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on.